Institutionalisation is when you go into a hospital environment or a care environment and basically you don't get back out again. Time goes on and there is no end date in sight, and it's very sad because it's not a way to live.
A lot of people with autism or learning disabilities are currently living in hospital settings, secure settings, in kind of institutions, and that is where they live. They're not able to be discharged because there's no appropriate care in the community and no social accommodation for them.
If I was to be put in hospital, then I would not get to choose what I eat, what I do, what time I wake up, which is really important to autistic people because we are really particular on routines.
I find the whole practice of institutionalisation really sad that in a modern day Scotland in 2024 that this still happens. I'm Fraser Malcolm's mum. Fraser is currently detained in hospital. Fraser was a 17-year-old boy during the second lockdown and he began becoming aggressive towards the family. We ended up that the police took Fraser into a mental health unit for learning disability. He went from being a very happy-go-lucky little chap, very sporty, always outside, to being locked within a ward environment. He was admitted to the hospital on the 9th of March 2021. He's been on delayed discharge since September 2022, and here we are 3 years and a few months later and is still under CTO in a locked environment.
Well, my experience of institutionalisation is through my son, Gordon. Gordon went into hospital after a crisis when he was 19. He was only meant to be in hospital for a short period of time. It's been 7 years this summer and he's still in hospital and he's been through a terrible time.
Institutionalisation needs to change because we all deserve to have the right to make our own decisions, to enjoy our interests and hobbies, to be at home and to enjoy our lives.
We need to see greater transparency from the government. So the Scottish Human Rights Commission carried out some research after the publication of the Coming Home report in 2022 that found that 20 million was set aside to help put an end to institutionalisation, get people out of hospital, get people back home from out of area placements and things like that. But out of that money, just under 1.5 million was spent, and there is another 12.5 million that's just unspent.
We think autism, learning disabilities and mental health should be understood differently. My autism just means that I function slightly differently from others. I just need little adjustments to help me function the same way everyone else does. I deserve the opportunity to be able to make my own decisions and thrive in the same way everyone else does in their lives.
We need the government and systems to be accountable. There should be an independent panel put together, people with lived experience, carers, families, people that have been through the experience of institutionalisation, to make suggestions and to look at putting forward new way of doing things.
We need someone to take ownership for the fact that people with learning disability and autistic traits are locked up in hospital. Hospitals are no place to live.
It breaches every human right, it's cruel and it's inhumane. And there has to be a change because nobody can survive in that environment and get better, you know, it's not possible.